In the heart of Belanzi town, Sony City, there lived a seamstress named Mara. She mastered the art of being invisible. With quiet hands and even quieter words, she existed in the shadows, far from the notice of Thimba Mabe. Thimba was the powerful leader who governed their community with a calm voice and an unyielding grip. Mara's life of quiet anonymity shattered the day her younger brother, Thami, disappeared. Suddenly, being invisible was no longer an option. One moonless night, Mara was carrying a load of laundry to the council house. Inside, she heard Thimba's voice, surprisingly gentle. As she walked through the dimly lit corridors, the low murmur of voices drew her down a hallway. She paused outside a door left slightly ajar, curiosity getting the better of her. "You're a bright young man, Thami," he was saying. After another pause, Thimba's tone hardened. "I only asked for the truce," Thami's voice, firm and clear, replied from within the room. "But asking where the missing families went, that creates problems." A heavy silence hung in the air before Thami asked the question that sealed his fate. "So they vanished because they questioned you?" Thimba's voice held a note of what sounded like genuine sadness. "Power is not something you share." Thimba's response was chilling. Mara froze. It was her brother. The community, police, and family had been looking for the past 6 months with no trace. "You may leave alive if you forget this." Mara held her breath, praying Thami would agree, but he didn't. "No," Thami said, his voice unwavering. The sound of shuffling feet followed, and 2 guards appeared, flanking her brother. He didn't shout or struggle. He just gave a slight, almost imperceptible shake of his head. As they led Thami away, his eyes met Mara's in the dark hallway. "Don't." It was a warning, a plea. After he was gone, a voice from the room spoke, startling her. Her heart felt like it was breaking into a million pieces as she stepped into the room. "You can come in, Mara." Thimba hadn't even turned around. "Let him go," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "I can't," Thimba replied softly, his gaze not unkind. "He won't kneel. And those who won't kneel threaten stability. But you may leave. You may live safely." He paused, letting his words sink in. "If you pretend you never heard this conversation." Mara swallowed the fear that was choking her. She thought of her brother's courage, his silent plea, and the disappeared families. She looked straight in the eyes of Thimba. "No," she said, her voice finding a strength she never knew she possessed. For a long moment, Thimba just looked at her, his expression more sad than angry. "Then be careful," he said, his voice a low warning. "Power rarely needs to shout to destroy." The next morning, Mara did something she had never done before. She stood before her community, the invisible seamstress no more. She spoke. She told them everything she had heard, every chilling word. Her single voice, at first a whisper in the wind, ignited sparks. Soon, Thimba's power was no longer absolute. It was challenged by the collective will of his people. Mara never saw her brother Thami again. His fate remained a painful, unanswered question. But the truth he had refused to bury became the truth she refused to silence. Until today, Mara never stopped looking and voicing out about his brother Thami. She's still talking, looking for answers, hopeful that one day someone will tell her of what happened to her brother, Thami. And in a community that had lived under a quiet tyranny, that single act of speaking out changed everything. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment.